When their benefactor betrays them and sadists from another world hope to kill them, will the Hellions team be able to overcome? Well, let's hop into the pages of Hellions issue number 15 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up only moments after the end of the previous issue, Mr. Sinister had betrayed his team, the Hellions, and left them at the mercy of TARN the Uncaring. I know I called him Karn in the whole last issue, so, thanks for not pointing that out, everyone. Sinister's not alone, though, as he is joined by, well, Mr. Sinister, the clone that he had sent to Eriko, who had ended up getting tortured and turned by TARN the Uncaring. Surprise, surprise, though, it doesn't matter if you're the original Mr. Sinister or a clone, none of them are exactly loyal, especially when the promise of genetic ascension is on the line. Now back over on Krakoa, the Locust Vile are mopping up all the other Sinister clones that were sent to attack them. They managed to make short work of them, but not without suffering injuries themselves. In fact, this is probably the most hurt we've seen these guys. And I suppose if TARN the Uncaring is Eriko's own answer to Mr. Sinister, then I guess the Locust Vile are, in more ways than one, very similar to the Hellions. They're weird, dysfunctional outsiders too. And hey, get this, when they're hurt, their first instinct is to actually eat one another so they can regrow their limbs. Which TARN will not allow them to do because, well, he's a crazy old sadist and he thinks that if they should eat anything, they should eat the enemies that so embarrassed them. Psylocke unloads on TARN with her full psychic power, and for a second there it looks like she may actually be able to make a dent, but this only gives TARN an excuse to look inside her mind for information about where Sinister may have run off. And it's right around here that the chickens start to come home to roost and things get really, really dramatic. You see, Psylocke is willing to give TARN the information on Sinister willingly, assuming that he won't kill her or her team. Psylocke knows that Sinister ran off to the ruins of Murder World to try and start up his new Chimera mutant program that he's been working on for a long time now. Here's the thing though, the rest of Psylocke's team, including Greycrow, who's developed quite a crush on her through the last couple arcs, are horrified to learn that Psylocke not only knew the truth about Sinister, how he'd been lying to them and manipulating their memories, but also that they never won their big battle in Murder World that brought them together as a team, and that they've only been losing and dying this whole time. Oops. Greycrow takes this betrayal harder than just about anyone, and for a second there actually slides back into his old murderous, villainous mold by getting the biggest, most 90s comic book gun ever to start slaying the weakened Locust Vile. Here's the problem though, TARN and the Locust Vile are so evil, so corrupting, and so malignant that even when they die, they end up being just as dangerous. Especially the one they call the Amino Fetus. He's that big, ugly, fat, baby-looking one there. Apparently, he's actually something much more horrible than we ever could have imagined. Apparently, he's some sort of ticking universal time bomb, and if he gets too injured, there's a good chance he could absolutely implode all of reality, which means TARN stops his fight with Sinister, so he can dump this thing in a black hole. Obviously, TARN loves pain and loves sadism, and if reality itself comes to an end, well, he can't keep indulging in what he loves, right? Now, just because the Locust Vile are gone doesn't mean Sinister is going to avoid an ass-kicking right now. He abandoned his team, he betrayed them, and they're ready to get a little bit of revenge on him. Unfortunately, Sinister still has two last very nasty aces up his sleeve. First and foremost, he has the mental backup of Psylocke's daughter that he's been holding hostage, and unlike all the mental backups held on Krakoa, there's only one copy of this one, so when it's gone forever. What's the other ace? Well, it seems that Sinister has actually completed a Chimera-class mutant, and well, naturally, it's a new Sinister, but one spliced with TARN's own god mutant DNA. This thing could be a real boon to Krakoa, or it could end up killing them all. We may not know for sure, though, as it's at this point Empath, who has been pretty damn silent for the last couple arcs, ends up showing his true colors. It seems that he's actually been working as a double agent within the Hellions for Emma Frost. And now that he finally knows what Mr. Sinister is up to, he uses his powers to manipulate people to turn Havok into a weapon to destroy Sinister's entire lab. And believe it or not, it's on that shocking twist right there the comic comes to an end, everybody. And so that was Hellions issue number 15, and once again, I think this book absolutely moves from strength to strength. We're seeing a ton of different storylines that have been weaved since issue 1 starting to come to fruition. In fact, if you told me we were heading towards an actual grand finale, I would probably believe you. As always, Mr. Sinister himself is the true secret weapon of this series. He's just so wonderful. You love to hate him, you love to love him. He's just just so much damn fun. Heck, they even pay off the whole Psylocke Grey Crow romance in a way that I was really not expecting. Usually in teen books like this, you expect them to throw in a little romance here and there to keep things spicy, but here you actually get that real feeling of betrayal. As a fan too, I also really gotta wonder what Zeb Wells has in mind for the series beyond this point now. They all know Sinister is bad, how do the Hellions get to keep going on as a team? And if they all end up dying and having their memories reset, will that ultimately be disappointing as they're just gonna return to the status quo? I can't say for sure. All I can say though is that I really liked this issue, which is why I give it a much deserved 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.